welcome once again to the Sage. What a pleasure, what a joy. Thank you for continuing to be with us. And indeed, let me thank you because you will continue to come back over and over again as we share these discoveries, as we discuss this important topic, to listen to us, to be with us, so that together, even if it's just your sympathy and support from out there, we can make it all happen. The last few series have been on what we are doing and have indeed begun to see the results of galvanization of a movement of young entrepreneurs. We are humbled, but we are also overwhelmed as we see it coming true. And because we think it is so important, we have devoted a few series to explaining the fundamental principles, the concepts behind it, to our viewers, to our fellow Nigerians, in the hope that seeing that it is indeed happening, it can be replicated, and as many as possible, thousands, millions, even if possible, of our young people can benefit and be a part of this process. In the previous episodes, we had gone into, indeed, let me roll them off. We had re-emphasized that actually you can be what you want to be, anybody at any age. We had talked about the fact that entrepreneurship is a vital tool or way or strategy or indeed mechanism for being that thing that you want to be. We had gone to demonstrate a proof of concept to you in which we in C4C, believing in this, began to empower and support and groom and launch a wonderful group of young people who are today entrepreneurs and are remaining successful at it. In the last episode, indeed, we talked about our first detailed encounter with them, in which they spent a busy 1 week with us getting to know what the fellowship program was about. In this episode, this time, we're going to discuss two very, very important elements of the fellowship program. The first is the feasibility study, which we have them undertake. And the second is the internship program, which is also compulsory for all of them. You might ask, what is a feasibility study? Have they gone back to school and to research? Actually, in life, in everything in life, there's research. Even when you decide to cook a pot of soup or bake a cake or do something, you research in a way until you get the right ingredients and the right mixes and the right taste. It is the same principle. If you intend to be a serious and successful business person, you've come with what you think is a brilliant business idea. You've even tested it. Is it a potential business opportunity? At this stage of our program, we ask them to go out into the field. Go and do research. Find out if that's your idea and potential business opportunity actually works where you hope to position it and under the terms on which you're planning your business plan. You will hear more about the details of a feasibility study, instructions they get, and so on and so forth to do it. But it is critical, it is key. There's methodology, there's science to everything. There's research to everything. And so they need to go again, rethink the idea, do their own survey in their community or locality where they want to implement their business idea, and based on that, reach conclusions. The second element for which we send them out into the field is internship. We have learnt as C4C over time that this is critical. We all know what the concept of internship actually means. We have had problems at the beginning with this, but we're very happy to say that our interning organizations are growing. We send them to an organization that does what they are hoping to do. If it's shoemaking you want to make, we send you to a shoemaking organization that actually makes shoes. If you say it's agro you're into, you want to grow fish, we send you to a successful fish farmer. And they work with them for 2 months. So that on the job, giving free labor, they learn the ropes, the skills of the trade. How do you handle customers in real life? How do you do your pricing in real life? And so on and so forth. Yes. And so straight from the capacity building workshop, we send them out for 2 months into the field where they do their feasibility study and they do their internship. And the results are usually quite amazing. Stay with us. We will tell you more. It's an enthralling story. Welcome once again to the stage, and thank you for having stayed with us. It's been quite a story. And as we have talked before the break about the internship and the feasibility study to which we let them loose in the field, we thought for you to better understand the impact it has had on the beautiful fellows it has been our privilege to have in this set. We have asked 2 of them to come in to set today to be with us, to share their experience with you, but also to enjoy having them. When you have children, sometimes even when you allow them to leave home, it's always a pleasure to have them come visit.
Sure.
And so to the beautiful 2 young people on set today, let me start with the ladies first.
Yes, ma'am.
To Bob Rachel and Augustine Sampson, welcome. Thank you
Very much,
for being with us on the stage. Thank you. We've asked you to come and be with us and tell them, share all the gory details, all the exciting details, how you went back to become a researcher, and how you interned and learned from the organizations that kindly interned you. There's nothing like hearing from the horse's mouth, so to say. Who do I start with? Rachel or Samson?
I think Samson should go first.
Ladies first now, so I'll just go with that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I'll just dive in with the internship. I remember my first day. I got there. Mine was in Cuba, and I stayed in Dubai, so it was quite a distance. So when I got there, she was really nice. She was like,
first of all, what is the area you were interning in?
It was in Cuba. It was a spa.
Okay, a spa.
Yeah, it was a spa. So she was really nice. I'm like, okay, oh wow, because I worked in a spa when I was learning how to do massage and everything. So I was kind of apprehensive about going again to learn. But she was so welcoming. She was nice. She asked me, oh, how are you? How is this program going on with you? Then she just dived right in. There was no, I thought maybe it would just be introduction. Okay, my name is this. And no, we just went straight into pedicures, manicures. And the very first day, we did a practical on facials. So it was an experience for me, because even though I'd been in the spa industry, what really interested me was massage. Nothing else interested me, it was just massage, because I'm fascinated with the human body. But when we did the facials, it was an experience, especially with the magnifying glass, to see things on people's faces. But it was really educative for me. It was very, very educative. Thank you.
Well, that is wonderful. So you had a chance to actually be there firsthand, practicing it and learning from somebody who does it as a profession.
Yes, on the very first day. There was
Right from the first day, no waste of time.
No taxing, we just took off.
That is wonderful. Yeah. That is wonderful. And let me say, even before I turn to Augustine and tell him to share a little of his own experience, to say that in a previous episode when we had talked about you can be what you want to be, that our Rachel is actually a cardinal example of that. That even though Rachel is sitting here telling you about spa and massage, she's actually a lawyer. That she's a beautiful, beautiful example of a young lady, who went through it all, who trained as a lawyer, because in a way, family and friends supported that concept, but who found that deep down in her was a passion for massage, for this spas and things like that, and who had the courage to pursue that. It's such a, for us in C4C, but for me, it's a privilege. I usually say it's a privilege to meet people with courage like that, and who prove to us and the world that you can be what you want to be. You just need the courage to persevere.
Yeah. On that, I think last year, 2020, because I registered my business in 2019, but I didn't really fully do anything. So in 2020, after my service year, I was like, okay, let me concentrate, because I was like, 2019, let me see if this law thing is really
what you want to do.
But I found that I would sleep in the office. It didn't just interest me anymore. It didn't just interest me. I just lost the interest for law. But in 2020, I remember praying, and the thing I just heard was, if you don't respect what you do, nobody else will respect it. If you don't appreciate it, you don't have this dignity for your work, nobody else will give it to you. So prior to that, I would just tell people, I'm a lawyer, because I didn't want people to know what I did. Because when they say, oh, massage, there's this, because they think, okay, it's people that don't go to school that do, it's not just to press body and everything. But it's not, it's more than that. I've taken courses, I've sat down, I've done a lot of practicals. So I know the work that goes into it. So when I heard that, like, if you don't have respect for your work, nobody else is going to have it. I just took that, and these days I just introduce myself as a massage therapist. And I forget sometimes I'm a lawyer. People like, maybe my call anniversary or something, and I post a picture of me wearing my wig and gown. They're like, oh, you're a lawyer? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Don't tell them I'll give you a massage. If you want legal advice on the side, I shall also provide.
Same thing. If you want legal advice, if you want to do your CSC business, that I'm your girl.
But massage is my main one.
Yeah, massage is my main one. Everything massage. Everything.
Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautifully inspiring story. Thank you, my dear, for sharing it.
Thank you.
I turn to you, Samson.
Okay.
Share some of your own.
Well, I would say I'm the most lucky person, because it happened that I attended with someone who is one of the C4C alumni, and it happens to be a friend back then in school. So it was awesome. In fact, the first day it was like, okay, since you've been into business for some time now, what are those things that you feel that you want to know, and all those things? And one of the things that makes some people stand out in fashion designing is they don't tell you all their secrets. Yes. They always try to hide out things. Even if you have people who, like apprentices who are learning under you, don't tell them this is this to give you, this is to give you what you want. So you just try to shift and do some things without them knowing. Or you just try to, okay, just send them forth and do this, do that, while you do those things. But he's such a person that is open, like, what's up now? Okay, it's this thing. And immediately after the first day that we talked, the second day was like practical, and some things were beginning to be unveiled and all those things. So it was like practical because of that relationship, and that C4C, it was under the platform of C4C that I came to intern over under him. So he was open, and in fact, I learned a lot. And it was an experience that shouldn't be forgotten.
Yes. You interned with a C4C alumni?
Yes.
Oh, it's
the
that
Sam question.
wonderful.
Yeah, the Sam question.
Yes. Oh, the Sam.
Yes.
Yes. That's another beautiful thing, you know, because within the network that we create as entrepreneurs amongst you, the fellows that we train and so on, is also the giving you the responsibility of adopting younger sisters and brothers and sharing your knowledge and skills with them and cheering them on to success. And so we have found that our alumni are wonderful interning organizations. They intern with an open heart because they are social entrepreneurs. They intern with an open heart. They take you on. They show you tricks of the trade are not really tricks, you know. The word trick is a kind of a terminology, but it's a misguided terminology. People should sincerely teach others how the skills of the trade, because that is the way we all grow. In teaching, you yourself find you're actually learning. I was a teacher once, and I know that that is the case. That's when you prepare a lesson, you actually learn as you're putting your notes of lesson together. In the same way, when you share your knowledge and your skills, you gain, you learn. And I think some reward is up there in heaven as well for you.
And one again is that, you know, based on the fact that I'm actually not new into the business, and having someone who is coming not just as a starter, but just come and get a knowledge about what you're doing, is now adding up to his own, and you're not really getting from him to an extent. So people find it very difficult taking people who already have a business or who are doing well already inside this business, because you're going to steal knowledge from them, and yet you don't probably pay them because, okay, you're coming to intern, okay. Probably if they will charge a starter 20,000, they will charge you like 100,000 because already you know. You only want to what? You want to make bigger of who they are. If I get my knowledge now, I'm coming to add with yours. Definitely I'm becoming bigger than you. So people don't really allow that, but he actually allowed it so. So honestly, having someone under the platform is actually, I think, is something very good, and we should, and who would actually take people and open up all these things to them too in time to come.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very important point you made. And it's one we try our best to emphasize to our fellows, to the network of young entrepreneurs. This world there's plenty of room. Competition is a misguided concept. How well your business does and how loyal your clients are depends only on the quality of what you do. It's not because, you know, you learned what he knew. No. Loyalty from your customers will be because you deliver the highest quality products to them. That's all you need to worry about. Deliver. Don't worry about competition necessarily. So that's again a very important lesson. And I'm happy to know that you are saying that one of the older fellows has learnt it and was very open and supportive of you. Yeah. So what about the feasibility study? Did you do it?
Yes.
Surely.
I think because during the first workshop we had financial feasibility training on how to do that class. I don't like maths at all. I do not like mathematics. So for me, that class was really tough, because I had to go home, do more research, watch on YouTube how exactly, because the tutor, he did a very wonderful job. Like, I think it was like the way he did it, broke it down like I was in primary school. But I just needed to, because if you want something to stick, you have to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. So by the time we got to the second workshop, the second workshop was still very good, but I had to tell Mr. Steven, like, I need help, because this is something that I really need to do again. But the financial feasibility, I can say now that I can do break-even analysis, everything about that. I'm your girl. I can do it, closing my eyes, I can just hit it. But for me, that was, I think after I finished it, it just gave me like a blueprint. This is where you are headed. If you keep at it, this is where you're headed. And it just tells you, okay, if you want to achieve this financial goal at this particular time, you need to do this. And it just rhymes with everything we learned for the financial goal, for the marketing class, for the social media interaction, the HR, and everything just goes hand in hand. So you have your financial goal. So how do you meet up? What ads do you need to run? How many people do you need to reach to get it? So if I want to get like 260,000 in a month, how many people do I need to meet? How many clients do I need to have in a month? If I'm using Instagram or Facebook ad, how much do I need to pay? So if I'm getting, how much money do I need to pay? How does that affect my end game? How does that affect my profit? So it was just
An eye opener.
yes.
Yeah, wonderful. So you have discussed the feasibility study, but let me turn to Augustine and say, what about the feasibility in the field? The feasibility study for which you had to write a report. Did you do that one?
Yes, ma'am. It is true that when we came into C4C, we were nobles in business. And it was like we're doing business like people by the roadside. And there was nothing good to write home about because it was like our visions were not really what we're seeing. And the feasibility study was so out that I need to do a check and to know how far I've gone. And even with the milestone I've traveled, our competitors in business, and I began to know that people around me are really not my competitors because I find out that I'm actually doing more than even a lot of people around me. So I began to aim higher and see how I could be able to get to this end and how to make active our social media platform because I'm someone who, in as much as I do not like chatting and all those things, but I try as much as possible to make out time to make sure that I get to feed my online customers, post on Instagram, post on Facebook. In fact, it was like C4C was monitoring me. So I need to be doing this thing sometimes because sometimes I forget. I was like, no, they are monitoring me if I'm doing these things that they taught me or not. So sometimes I just go on Instagram, post a video, post a picture, and make sure we are bombing every time. And in fact, the customer relationship and the marketing strategies were awesome. And we keep on following up. And it's actually taking us places. And I see that our visions are actually coming to pass with the feasibility study we've actually done.
Yeah, so that it made things more real
Yes,
and understandable. Yes. Thank you, both of you, so much. I think we need to wind up. And so before we say our final goodbyes to our audience, let me ask both of you to say just a few words, that comes from your heart to our viewing audience. Let me start with you, even though it's ladies first.
Okay.
I will start with you, Samson.
I actually want them to start with me too. Let it not be ladies says. I think okay, mommy, I would say that people would not know, or probably you too, you would not know how far you've actually touched myself and my business. Yes, you've actually done so much, and I see that the level at which my business is actually operating now, it is as a result of what's encountering C4C. I would say that C4C is a grace, and I've encountered this grace, and I tell you truly that my life and my business life has actually changed already. It's a vision, and you've dragged me 60% of where I'm going to have 100%, but you drag me 60 because knowledge in business, you could actually see people who teach you about these things, but people who would follow you up and make sure that you achieve it. It's actually people are not there. So you actually taught us one, models of business, how to approach people, and even the balancing of the financial. I don't keep record, but now it is a duty, it's a point of duty to keep record of all these things I do, my expenditure and everything, and even with all the things you've done. In fact, let me keep quiet here because I think if I would say, I might even cry because you've actually done so much.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. May God bless you.
Thank you.
That is so touching. Thank you very much.
Yes,
sweetheart, your last words?
So what I'm going to say to people, because C4C is real. They are not scamming you. They are not trying to exploit you. They gave us breakfast. They gave us lunch. No, let me be real with people. They fed us. If you didn't have transport, you tell them. They provided. They ensure that our every need during the workshop, during the internship, they were met. They are not scammers. Please, they are not out. I need to stress this. They are not out to exploit you. They are real. We have mommy here that cares deeply for she considers every participant her child, her baby. Your business is her business. You have somebody that will stand with you when you fall with you, raise you up, run with you, motivate you. That is what C4C is. You might think, oh, they are real. They are the best. Thank you so much, C4C. Thank you, Mom.
I'm not often speechless. I have gotten emotional on this. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Just to say, the good Lord will bless both of you.
Amen.
The good Lord will bless every fellow, every young person that is in contact with you, in contact with C4C, and that together, our dream, our hope for you and for all the young people in this country that need to succeed, that we want to succeed, that we are praying for, that all of it will come true.
Amen.
Thank you, wonderful viewers. See you next week.